A stranger on board goes crazy, going on a violent spree and sets the carriage ablaze with his fire abilities. He insists that he has been granted power by the mysterious divine gate, which connects the heavens, living world, and underworld. Before he can kill anyone, he is attacked by a boy wielding water powers. Two more children barge in, introducing themselves as representatives of the Peacekeeping World Council. They take the man into custody, while the mysterious boy escapes. The two World Council members, Akane and Midori, who are revealed to be mere Academy students, are praised for their efforts. With the help of a rabbit-like creature called Metapel, they review footage of the incident. They argue about the boy's motives and wonder if he can see the divine gate. It is explained that whoever reaches the gate will have their wish granted, but that nobody has for so long that the gate has become a legend. Elsewhere, the higher-ups of the World Council also discuss the incident. They explain that the stranger man was a demon, but they do not know why he came to the world of the living. The council leader wants to recruit the water-using boy, Otto, to the academy, but the others disagree. Otto is surrounded by rumors that he was a neglected child who killed his parents and thus has a bad reputation. Akane and Midori are summoned by their advisors, who are fairies from the heavenly realm, to talk further about what happened. They want Otto to join the academy and have sent a water-using fairy to recruit him. She succeeds in getting Otto to meet with the academy's leader, whose name is Arthur, who tries to give Otto a device called a driver. Otto refuses. He also rejects Akane and Midori's attempts to talk to him, scaring them off by insisting that he did kill his parents. When he is accosted by a third recruiter, a strange white-haired boy, Otto has a flashback to his childhood, where he was neglected by his parents and treated poorly by his brother. Akane, Midori, and Undine are here again to bug Otto and persuade him to join the academy. Otto continues to be so gloomy that it's just annoying. Midori thought of breaking the ice by asking the stray cats he feeds. Akane was not pleased with his response of feeding them whenever he pleased. Akane walks away as Metabon talks about his fiery temper. Akane bumps into a poor kid, Hiroto, and he wants money for food. Akane is about to donate but remembers his words to Otto and becomes hesitant. Hiroto recognizes Otto and wants to go buy bread together. Hiroto's parents are not present, which annoys Akane. He wants to go tell them. Otto asks Akane how he is going to do that. Suddenly, a patrolling robot passes by. It starts malfunctioning and starts shooting missiles in every direction. Loki is the one behind this interesting show. Hiroto is trapped by the flames. His father wants to save him, but his trauma turns him into a coward. Midori arrives on the scene, and Akane turns over his driver to Otto. He takes it, since he very well wants to save Hiroto. While Midori and Akane take down the robot, Otto unleashes his water sword to douse the flames. Now Akane scolds Hiroto's dad for not acting to save his own child. Otto tells him about the conscious and subconscious effects. He consciously wanted to save him, but his subconscious fear exceeded that. Now the father and son make up. Even Loki is pleased with the show. The white-haired kid turned to put some subconscious fear into Otto by making him remember his past. Because of his fear of betrayal, he is afraid to move on and take action. His parents beg to spare them, but unfortunately, death was their only fate. And the one who killed his parents is his younger brother. Otto is left in shock, and when the brothers touch, they see visions of the divine gate. Because of that, the younger brother believes they shouldn't see each other anymore and leaves. Otto goes to see Arthur about enrolling. Arthur relays the good news that recently he received a key that will guide and open the divine gate. Now everyone has their hopes up. Arthur calls Oz, simply to inform him that he has obtained the key. Oz has his concerns, but Arthur will do what he needs to do, and they can just watch him. While Midori is having a practice match with Jinji, she can't help but space out and think about her old friend, Elena. She wanted to be Midori's only friend forever. It was her wish for the divine gate. During Otto's welcoming party, that white-haired kid continues to pop up. Midori seems pushy when she wants to know the truth about Otto, but she brushes it off and jokingly proclaims she'll be the first one to reach there. Akane notices her continuing to space out, remembering how good friends Midori were with Elena. When they entered school, Elena became jealous that Midori was mixing well with the rest. She even stated that she only wanted her to be her one and only friend for the rest of her life. That kind of heavy stuff was too restrictive for Midori, so Elena didn't quite like it. Midori wanted to make up and ask her out to the festivals, but Elena left her last message that she was going to a place to get her wish granted. Midori has never seen her since, and she believes Elena must be waiting for her at the divine gate. Arthur tells his Knights of Rounds member about the key. Some are quite enthusiastic, but others, like Lancelot, is showing their foul mood, which obviously means his disapproval. The white-haired kid continues to bug Otto while he is training. He is certain Otto has a wish and wants it granted, although Otto disagrees. In the others, Otto seems like a madman talking to his imaginary friend. Midori is concerned and wants to help him. This means snooping around for details about his past. As he is about to input his name in the search box, suddenly the alert sounds, and there is this big red restriction across the screen. Arthur sees the development of the 5th version of an upgraded driver. Akane and Midori went to tell Otto exactly what they were up to. They weren't looking for him, but rather attempting to assist him because he appeared to be in great pain. Midori sends Otto a link to FriendLog where he can post stuffs like instant messaging, but Otto isn't interested. Later, Midori gets a mysterious message that will guide her to read classified information. She opens it and it leads her to borrow Undyne's pass. This time they are able to access more information without restriction. Looking through articles pertaining to Otto, they are perplexed that the Blue Christmas incident is also related to him. Digging further, they realize it wasn't just a shopping mall accident, but an incident of a blonde boy using a knife made out of water and killing 666 people. Otto is a suspect, but there is not enough evidence to charge him. When they go deeper, the red alert sounds, and they are surrounded by robots. Brunner, a secret military agency of the Knights of Rounds, has been monitoring their illegal access. But Brunner told them all about Blue Christmas. Meanwhile, because Brunner left his surveillance seat, this allowed Schrödinger to hack into the system and send a message to Otto about the Blue Christmas. Schrödinger is remembering what happened during Blue Christmas. When the lights went out, the moon's light reflected and made the surroundings look blue. Then Otto materialized his water blades and started cutting everyone down. Schrödinger was there, saw how beautiful he was, and wanted to join him. Otto considered him a comrade but slashed his mouth first. Brunner was supposed to meet his father at the mall but only heard his last words describing the killer with blue eye. An explosion occurred as Brunner was rescued by Arthur. Ever since, he has been trying to trace Otto and prove that he was the one who did it. Brunner wants their help to find proof. Although Akane doesn't like the idea, Midori agrees because she wants to help Otto. Brunner realizes his tracking on Otto has ceased, but Midori can trace him thanks to FriendLog. He is at the ruins of Blue Christmas. Otto meets Schrödinger, who looks forward to their reunion. Although Schrödinger notes he looks a little different now. Brunner crashed their lovely reunion and Midori and Akane arrives. Brunner knows Schrödinger as one of the geniuses of the divine. Midori believes he is the one who sent her the mysterious mail. Schrödinger sends his robot to stall them. Otto clashes swords with him as he asks where did the other Otto go. This makes sense to Schrödinger now, because this Otto is not the same one from before. He unleashes some hot chick killing machines, instructing Samadare to kill them while he flees. Akane wants some answers on Blue Christmas. Otto is about to admit he is the culprit, but Brunner will just leave it there. They then pick up the defeated Samadare, who is requesting an order from her new master. Otto asking what should he do. Midori suggests posting this on FriendLog and he gets a thumbs up by Undyne, and at least Otto smiled a little. Otto, Midori, and Akane are joined by Jinji, Hikari, and Yukari for a special training in the woods. When they got off the train, they were met by a woman wearing a horse mask, and they ignored her. She introduced herself as Bediver, who was one of the Knights of Round. Ewayne apparently convinced Bediver that wearing it would instantly identify her as a member of the Knights of Round. Oddly, the training consists of school sports festival games like sumo wrestling and a quiz show. While taking a rest, Akane notices a girl watching him. They have no problem striking up a conversation as if they've been friends for years. But when Otto and Midori arrive, the girl is nowhere to be seen. Arthur and the other executives are monitoring the special training and his reason for the weird activities, and it is because reaching the Divine Gate might not always lie in battles. After the trainees take their shower and freshen up, they head back to base but are set upon by seconds, human-animal hybrids who will seek any powers to reach the Divine Gate but don't hurt others. They claim to have trespassed on their territory, so Akane orders the team to flee because their orders are to return if they do not kill them. But Akane is forced to fight that girl, who is also a seconds. She adds that they are all defiers, people who are abandoned and forced into hiding after defying the World Council. Arthur is watching the kids instead of sending reinforcements to see what kind of reaction they will have in such situation. Akane decides to go for diplomacy after Otto hints at using words. He tries to understand her plight, but she injures him when he lets his guard down. Before she could kill him, Bediver and the other instructors arrive to slaughter them all. As they are all important to the progress of Divine Gate, this is the only way left. Arthur seems satisfied with the path taken and with playing the Cold King. Because if the people are lost, all a king needs to do is decide on a path. In the aftermath, Akane cries and apologizes to the girl, and now she tells him to continue to be happy. There is this flashback where young Arthur meets a kid named Santa. Now Arthur stands before the council, narrating a brief history of how the first divine gate appeared, merging all three worlds and causing chaos. That happened because everybody only cared for themselves. He will prevent something like Blue Christmas from happening again and will do whatever it takes to reach the divine gate. So he gathers his Knights of Rounds only to tell them it's time to go. He also mentions his desire to make the world a happier place. Therefore, he will claim the divine gate and become king. Otto's group is going to see Arthur. But the white-haired kid reappears to haunt Otto about believing his wish would come true and the pain that awaited him. Arthur tells the kids that they will be joining him on the expedition. They might have their doubts, but he remains confidently optimistic that they will get there. Loki remembers meeting young Arthur. Captivated by him, he asked if Arthur wanted to become a god like him. Instead, Arthur wanted to become king and bring peace to the world. Loki will do happy things that will make him happy. Like how the people need a king will need a god. So he and his comrades gather their twilight judgment. On Otto's side, continue to think over Arthur's words about becoming king and correcting the world's state. By doing so, his friend Santa will bring happiness to everyone. Some question whether he exists or not. Arthur assembles his Knights of Rounds as well as the selected few from the Academy for the expedition. He introduces Oz and Loki to them. The white-haired kid is up to his no-good haunting again, and he is interrupted when Undyne comes to talk to Otto about Arthur wanting to see him personally. Arthur points out that Otto is the same. Sacrificing oneself to protect something is more important. He knows he has been protecting his little brother by being his scapegoat. People become stronger when they have something other than themselves to protect. The expedition finally begins, but Arthur shocks his team by telling them his real goal, to destroy the divine gate. After the chaos that merged the three worlds, it created a world that only rulers understand and covered up dirty secrets. Therefore, Arthur is going to destroy it to return the world to its original state. As they make their way in, they are attacked by a swarm of Loki-sent robot drones. He won't give Arthur an easy way there. Once inside the tower, they are besieged by Scandinavian gods. Arthur has his Knights of Rounds fight them to buy time while he and the kids head straight to the next door. As a result, our first victim perishes. Gawain, the little daughter of the Knights of Rounds. Eventually, one by one, the Knights of Rounds get killed off by the gods, who don't even need to exert so much as a sweat to dispose of them. Apparently these gods are sent by Oz, who thought those puny humans would lose hope and pull back. Now he blames himself for the massacre. Midori can't understand why so much has been sacrificed for this. Now Arthur claims he is a sinner who will bear this great sin to change this world. Then he moves on, as though he felt nothing from all those deaths. The last one standing is Lancelot. Lancelot is prepared to sacrifice himself, but at this point the gods just don't bother with him and disappear. Arthur is standing in front of the divine gate when he is attacked by Replica, a super mecha girl from the lab. The kids are sealed off outside as Lancelot joins them, believing Arthur won't die this easily. After Arthur destroys the replica, Loki appears before him, and Arthur realizes he has geniuses of divine working under him. With no more strength left, Loki gives him two choices: pick up this sword and be his personal king or die, since Arthur won't be manipulated by him. However, Arthur appears to leave something behind and pick up the sword. When the door reopens and he reunites with the others outside, Arthur stabs Lancelot. Arthur has decided to become Loki's king. The door shuts, the place crumbles, the kids fall into the abyss, and a new dark tower springs up. Arthur is trapped inside his own consciousness. Loki kept his word with his physical being to become king of this tower. The World Council imposes a curfew on the world. Oz is interrogated before them about Arthur's betrayal, but since they don't find his answer satisfying, Loki confirms that everyone has died. Later, Oz talks to Loki about what he said. Loki says they are now conspirators against the council. It was his idea to unleash the Scandinavian gods, so his hands are as dirty as his. Loki returns to the geniuses of divine. Now the main show of Twilight Judgment will begin, and Loki introduces Shakespeare. He hopes Shakespeare can come up with a good tragedy. Apparently, the kids are still alive and hiding in a secret hideout. Ifrit, Sylph, and Undyne go visit them to give supplies, but they can't stay long or they will be suspected. Santa is also there. He is the one who met Arthur when he was a kid. Santa was the one who popped up during the tower collapse to save them. Santa explains how the council kept the truth from Arthur. They are hiding everything, thanks to Loki. He controls the council by conspiring with Divine's geniuses. As a result, there is more to Akane's father's death and Midori's friend's whereabouts than meets the eye. Loki's wish is to perhaps open the Divine Gate and start fresh with the world. He loves to see people struggle for the Divine Gate. That is why, after Santa informed him of Loki's plan, Arthur decided to destroy it in order for the world to be at peace. Santa wants their help to save Arthur and follow him back to the Divine Gate again. because Arthur chose them. However, Gingy's side decides to go back to the council, thinking they can't be forever hiding in here. They think Arthur is the bad guy for betraying, and Santa might be lying. They are just victims caught up in this. But Akane wants to return to the Divine Gate. He wants to know the truth. Midori and Otto side with Akane's view, so both sides go their separate ways. Loki interrogates Gingy while using nice words to entice his friends. They are forced to bring him to the hideout, but apparently they got the place wrong. Santa replaced their memories when they left. But Gingy has an idea. He goes to warn Ifrit and others that Akane's hideout has been discovered. They unknowingly lead them to the true hideout, and Loki immediately prepares his ambush. The robots are set to attack if they don't come out. Santa distracts them with his flashy explosions to let the rest escape to an underground passage that is believed to lead to the Divine Gate. Loki signals to Shakespeare for her debut, so with the stroke of her pen, Akane, Otto, and Midori suddenly vanish from plain sight. Akane, Midori, and Otto are running away from Loki's drones. Then they fell through a hole that landed them on a stage. Loki is going to have Shakespeare write a tragedy for each of them. At first, she summons a twisted version of Othello, Macbeth, and Hamlet, but Loki finds it boring and wants her to rewrite a familiar story with a surprising twist. The trio are separated into their own plays. Akane is a girl. He is Cinderella, being brutally beaten up by his stepmother and stepsisters. Midori is in prison for a failed assassination attempt, and Otto is a sad, gloomy, bedridden boy who can't even cry. Like in Cinderella's story, Akane is invited to the ball, and it seems the prince is his father. Midori somehow breaks out and keeps running. Otto's still stuck in bed. Loki finds the story boring, so Shakespeare drops her pen. The play freezes for a while. Akane's dad takes this chance to take his son away to a place that Loki can't reach. Akane punches him. That's to see if he's real, which he is for pretending to die and abandoning them. Midori runs into Alina. They made up and continue to be best friends. Otto finally gets up and goes to his old house. He sees his younger brother there. His brother explains why he did that horrible thing that night. He claims they only understand each other. It broke his heart to see his parents torture him so much. That is why he eventually acted. Had he reached out in time, this tragedy could have been prevented. But Otto is not moved and wonders who this guy is. As Akane plays catch with his dad, the latter mentions he regrets everything and would do anything to start over. That is when Akane felt something wrong. He believes this guy is an imposter because he knows his dad is the kind who would abandon his own kid to achieve his goal. That is why if he loses everything, he can't throw away his dream. His dad turns into Hamlet and laments his failure. As for Midori, she knew this wasn't her Alina when she didn't even know what those matching handphone straps were. Yes, it's Macbeth in disguise. Failed. And as you would have guessed, Otto's brother is Hamlet. Shakespeare is shocked that they defied her writing. But Loki is very impressed because the best plays are those that don't follow the script, just like their lives. Making it even more ironic, he mentions those actual characters will be appearing. He puts Shakespeare to rest while he waits for his favorite drama to unfold. Otto meeting that white-haired kid. Not a fake, definitely. Akane is attacked by drones, and when he is surrounded, somebody blew them all away, and it's his father. Akane's father shows off his awesome fire fist that destroys the rest of the drones. When he mentions about some birth secret, Akane realizes this is his real father. He wants his son to go back and talk to the council. As this world has changed since the Divine Gate, the disaster has claimed many lives. Now people cannot maintain the balance with the Divine Gate anymore. That is why some are here to research it. The drones carry all that data. The Divine Gate cannot be destroyed, but they will try to keep casualties to a minimum. Akane is unimpressed by his response about sacrificing for the greater good. He will reject everything about himself and travel to the Divine Gate in order to change the world. Meanwhile, Midori stumbles into Alina and thinks she is fake too. Then when she sees her matching handphone straps, she realizes she is the real deal. Meanwhile, Loki is talking to Arthur. Loki claims that the adapters cannot reach the Divine Gate without the key. Although one already has it, the other two need to obtain despair as the key. Loki is sure he put a curse on Arthur to make him his, but he knows his real heart is not here since Arthur was able to resist him. Gingy is being questioned by the council. He remains cautious, but they assure him they don't trust Loki anymore and Oz is just useless. They claim he is an important person because he is the only human who can reach the Divine Gate. Hikari is the princess of the celestial world, and Yukari for Helestia, since they are being picked up by their respective people. While Midori and Alina would love to continue making up and chatting, but time is short. Because it is like Alina is saying goodbye to her since she has a new life, and a new name, Dorothy, which is the name of Oz's assistant. Before they can wrap up, they are attacked by a Scandinavian god. Another of those gods interrupts Akane's fight with his father. Akane's father programs the drones to take his son away. Then Akane's father fights the god before getting stabbed. But what makes him scarier is how he is going to do suicide bombing with God. Alina uses her body to protect Midori. Oz is on the scene to see Alina, and he is crying, but he is irrelevant to it. Undyne reunites with Otto. She can see the white-haired kid. Otto is surprised to see his younger brother waiting outside the door. Otto and his brother were once both abused by their parents. Despite all that, Otto continued to have clear eyes, and his little brother didn't like that because it was as though he didn't feel anything. We go deeper into their past before they became adapters. They took turns getting abused by their parents so that they could become adapters. His little brother believes Otto always wanted to protect him. Then there is something about Otto seeing the divine gate before him first. Those who did would pass out due to its overwhelming force, but Otto didn't. It proves he is stronger despite Otto claiming his brother is the stronger one. When little brother set fire to the house, Otto took the blame that he did it. The parents claim all the abuse was so that they could be part of the World Council, but Otto believes it is only for their own benefit. Otto's father beat him up and locked him away. Otto thought this kind act was protecting his little brother, but the latter only felt worse because it was as bad and painful to watch him being abused. The night before little brother went to kill their parents, he went to see Otto and tried to strangle him. He got scared by his clear eyes and ran away. That is when he saw the divine gate and became an adapter. To little brother, those eyes felt like looking down on him. He is disappointed that Otto never brought up the suggestion to run away and for the brothers to live alone together. That is why he calls him a hypocrite for wanting to see him suffer. This wasn't Otto's intention, but little brother has become so fixated on not accepting him in his life that it is time for punishment. It's time for the brothers to fight. However, Otto will not fight him and is only reduced to dodging. Meanwhile, Oz believes he can make amends by ridding the Scandinavian gods with his own life. The siblings' battle ends when Undyne uses herself to protect Otto. Instinctively, Otto draws his sword and cuts his brother when he goes in for the attack. Little brother is relieved that he has revealed his true feelings by wishing to kill him. So he takes his leave of the Divine Gate and says that as long as he continues to protect him, they will move forward. Otto, Akane, and Midori move into the Divine Gate since they are told they have the right. Before them is the white-haired kid who shows them the Divine Gate's true form, a large scale that balances hope and despair and watches over their conscious and subconscious minds. Otto wants the white-haired kid to answer a question he never answered. Who is he exactly? He is the key that guides people who have experienced despair to the Divine Gate. Whether it is the past or future they want to change, they have that ability to choose the answer from the Divine Gate as they have the right. There is something that makes Santa feel grateful about Arthur, the reason he is going to save him. So here he is, facing Loki and mind-controlled Arthur while discussing some cap about the freedom to choose. Santa purposely gets stabbed by Arthur so he could get connected into his trapped mind. He meets the real Arthur and knows he has kept his real heart hidden in some item. He wants Arthur to come back with him, but Arthur already decided to stay and protect the world and bring everyone happiness. Santa is forced out and left pondering if this is the path Arthur wants to take. Meanwhile, Otto, Midori, and Akane are ready to walk through the Divine Gate. But before they could take a step, the Scandinavian gods stopped them. They have survived Oz's stripping them of their drivers, which made him all shrivel up. The gods are against them using the Divine Gate, as they feel changing fate is too much for a human to bear. But white-haired kids side with the humans, believing they have the right to do so and change all that crap. The white-haired kid even tells the kids not to listen to these gods and probably incites hatred in them by reminding them how they were the ones who killed their father, friend, or brother. The white-haired kid pushes them out, making those losers gods hate humans and their selfishness even more. Just when you think it is all clear to head in, here is Genji. The council has sent him after realizing Loki has betrayed them. Genji tries diplomacy despite looking like a guy who lets his fists do the talking. So he is trying to talk them out of not using the Divine Gate, which is only for the council and rulers of this world to use. Although Otto and the team wish will not change something drastic like that, it will still change. Order will disappear, because life is unfair. No matter how much effort you put in, at the end of the day, only the chosen ones rule the world. That is why the council is needed to make the chaotic world look like a normal one. The white-haired kid argues that's why these kids have the chance to do away with all that. Become gods and rule over the world as they see fit. All this made Otto realize important things Arthur told him and the way he lived his life. In the end, people won't change even if they rely on God's powers. They have to change themselves. And thanks to this brainstorming, our heroes forfeited their right to enter the Divine Gate. The white-haired kid is disappointed, but since this is their decision, this is also their fate to choose. The Divine Gate closes as Otto thanks the white-haired kid, who is relieved that this is the first time this has happened to him. But now they are faced with Loki and Arthur. They make a run for it when Arthur destroys the tower. Arthur gives Loki a pep talk, telling him that he cannot destroy hope in the world. Loki thinks despair will only be there, but Arthur is fine if that is the path they choose. Otto and the team return to the real world, and they are surprised Lancelot is alive. In fact, the entire Knights of Rounds survived thanks to some greater power. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe.